Hey guys, how's it going? This evening I wanted to show you how it is that I go about staggering my tulip crop. See, the problem with tulips is that they tend to all come on all at once, and you are sort of left with a lot of tulips that you need to move, and you're at a point in the season where, at least for me, it's my first crop, so I'm never really ready for them. So the way I manage to stagger my tulip crop is with these tunnels. The other thing I want to mention is that I don't have a cooler. I do have a cold cellar, which allows me to store flowers for, an extra day or two. But I don't have a cooler. If I had a cooler, what I could do is I could harvest the tulips just as they were beginning to show color, or just before they're starting to show color, harvest them, bulb and all, and then I could store them flat in crates in my cooler for up to a month dry. And the reason why I can do that, or I could do that, is because the tulips are still attached to their food source. They're still attached to the bulb. So they can store in a cooler for up to a month. And what you would do is each week is you would just take out that week's requirement or quantities of tulips, cut off the bulb, put them into a bucket of water, deliver them to the florist. Now, I don't have that luxury of a cooler. So what I do is I put up some tunnels over the tulips. And so what I did was I've planted the tulips in 3 different beds here. One here, and then I've got a bed to my right, and then a bed to the left of this tunnel here. Tulips are super late this year. The tulips that are not under a tunnel are just beginning to break through the surface of the soil. I don't know if you can see that, but they're there. But putting a tunnel over these tulips has allowed me to get a much earlier crop. You can see down the tunnel here that the tulips are coming along quite nicely in this tunnel. And I actually think that this tunnel will give me tulips, I think in about a week I'm going to be harvesting them. And then what I'm going to do is, tonight after I film this, I'm going to put a tunnel over this sort of bed of tulips also. And that's going to sort of hasten them, quicken them up, because it does warm up in the tunnel. And what that's going to do is that's going to give me tulips in I think about 2.5 weeks. And then the third bed right over here with these tulips here, I'm actually not going to tunnel them, and then that will give me tulips in, let's say, in about 3.5 weeks. So I'm gonna have tulips in about 1 week here, 2 weeks here, and about 3 weeks here. And that's how I'm able to sort of handle the crop of tulips and distribute them in a timely fashion. And I don't have all this stock all at once. The other advantage that planting your tulips in a tunnel gives you is it helps you time your crop. So let's say you want to time your tulips for something like Easter or Mother's Day, and the tulips are sort of growing too quickly and you kind of want to slow their growth down. What I do is I vent the tunnels, I just open up the ends, and the cooler air slows them down. But let's say Mother's Day is coming up and your tulips are not ready. What you can do is then close the tunnel, let it warm up in there, not too warm, careful with that, and that will actually hasten the growth of the tulips and speed them up. And then that way I can kind of play with when I want them to be ready. So that's how I managed to sort of stagger my crop, guys. Give it a shot if you want to grow some tulips for the purpose of cut flowers, and like me, you don't have a cooler.